This is an incredible marketing stunt. And it's not even just a marketing stunt. This is a way for this guy might find a wife through this, or a long-term girlfriend, or something else. And he's getting a lot of attention. Getting a lot of attention from this on all social media platforms. Just people are talking about this. Probably have articles written about this. This is so smart. Okay, I'm going to share this. I'm so excited. I had first heard of Nick Gray. That's his name, Nick Gray. I'd first heard of him a few times on the My First Million podcast. They said he's very good at throwing parties, and he has a book called The 2-Hour Cocktail Party. Never really looked into it. Never looked into this much. Right now, I'm in super monk mode. Okay, before I even get there, God, this is so smart. Okay. And I didn't think much of it when I heard about this guy on the My First Million podcast. And a few days ago, a close friend sends me this post that he made on Instagram. I'm going to read the post and then tell you what has happened since then. And I think when I read the post to you, you will be interested because it is very interesting. He puts up a post on his Instagram. Caption is, "Send this to a friend who likes sushi." It's an all image post and it's four images. Haha. Oh my gosh. It's 4 images and the images are all text. And I am going to read this text to you. So here it is. It's called Nick Gray's Tokyo Blind Date. Do you like sushi? Do you like exploring new cities? Do you like blonde guys with glasses? Come to Tokyo with me for a blind date next weekend. It will be fun. And then there's an envelope emoji with a red stamp on it. It continues. If you're a woman with a passport who likes Japanese food and can ride a bike in a big city, let's go. I'll pay for everything, but in return, you film a few stupid videos of me on my iPhone that I can post to Instagram. Continued. Each day we'll try. By the way, Nick Gray already had several tens of thousands of followers. By this point, I think he has 35,000 on Twitter and maybe around 60,000 on Instagram. Wait, so he says, each day we'll try 2 to 3 new restaurants, maybe 4. We'll walk, shop, eat, explore. Itinerary. Then he gives the dates. It's a 3-day journey. Then he says, why am I doing this? I went to Tokyo last summer, 9 days. It was excellent. The food, the city, the matcha, so good. But after a few days, I wished that I had a fun, cute friend traveling with me to talk and share stories, and also to film me and my dumb Instagram reels. Logistics, flights. You'd likely depart on Wednesday to the 24th of April. I'm happy to get your economy ticket and all expenses, and I expect nothing in return. You should have a passport and be a savvy and relatively low-maintenance traveler. Hotels. I'll get you a hotel room. Some friends and I bought a tiny apartment near Shinjuku neighborhood in Tokyo, so I'll stay there. I reserve the right to come use your hotel gym. And then the last page. Is this crazy? I guess, but it sounds fun. Feel free to reference check me with any mutuals. And then how to apply, DM me or email hello@nickgray.net or click the link in my bio, the end, and then it's 4 pictures of him. One of them is shirtless. Okay, some people are going to think that this is extremely cringe and pathetic. Other people are going to think this is so cool. And everyone, no matter what you think, is going to think that it's interesting. And the comments on this post are all positive. This is the top comment. I'm shocked that anyone was able to make a post like this and it wasn't creepy AF. Great job, Nick. So curious how this shakes out. And all of the posts are like this. So this is what happens from this post. This is the results that he gets from this post. So Nick, this is his, before I even say the results that he gets, I'll tell you about Nick. This is his description on Instagram. Follow me to be more interesting. I started and sold a museum business. Now I do fun stuff and corporate events. So this guy throws a lot of events, and yeah, he does fun stuff. He reviews food places, he travels, he makes videos about that. He has this book, The 2-Hour Cocktail Party, which I've heard about before. He shows videos about how to throw the perfect dinner, how to throw the perfect event, getting poke in Hawaii, getting crab in Alaska. Okay, so that's a little bit about Nick and his brand. This is what happens from that post. He puts up an update. The original post was 1 week ago. This update is 3 days ago. And he says, update, Nick Gray's Tokyo blind date. I'm flying to Tokyo soon to meet a woman I've never met for this blind date. She saw my post, took a chance, and sent me a DM. She's never been to Japan and is ready for the adventure. We're both excited and agree that this is absolutely crazy. I booked her tickets and hotel last night, so it is actually happening. We leave in a few days. Stay tuned, I guess? And then he continues. With any luck, I'll share a photo of us both smiling in Tokyo on Thursday. That's today. I got 400 applications and DMs and emails from the most incredible women. 400. Thank you to everyone who shared my post or messaged me. And then he says, also, I picked a few random people and I'm donating to a charity of their choice to say thanks for being open-minded to a fun date idea with a random person on the internet. The end. So that was his update. That was 3 days ago. And a friend who is following this story, lots of my friends are now following this story, lots of people are following this story, sends me a post that he just made on Twitter. And it's about this, and he's in Tokyo. There's so much comedy here. So he posts, I just dropped my Tokyo blind date off for the night at her hotel. Walking back to my apartment now, and I'll type up some notes. The situation, and then he writes in caps, is good. Oh, the notes just came out 2 hours ago. I haven't read this yet. One of the top comments, by the way, on what I just read to you is some guy said, did you hit, bro? And Nick Gray's response is so good. He goes, yes, we hit up. So the guy goes, did you hit, bro? And he goes, yes, we hit up 2 awesome ramen places. I will type up some notes almost home. So funny. Wow, he wrote a long post of notes. Oh my gosh, more posts. You know what? I'm going to indulge. I'm going to read this. I'm curious what happens. So I want to say, before I even read this, why this is so brilliant. I am out here in Europe, mostly in monk mode. I meet with some people who reach out to me who are fans of my stuff, but that's because not a lot of people here in Poland know who I am. If I'm back in New York, I'll get invited to stuff several times a day. I don't have that time. The most effective thing for me to do with my time, the highest ROI thing, is for me to make videos, make this podcast, put out my weekly newsletter, and make the product that I'm working on and manage my companies. That's the most important thing for me to do with my time. And there's not that much time left over. And I love meeting with people. I just don't have that much time for it, and I don't do it very often. And I'm kind of in this like F meeting with people mode. That's like my version of meeting with people now is I will go with a friend to a cafe and we'll both sit on our laptops and work. That is like what that I do. I do that like every day with a friend. We go to a cafe, we sit on our laptops and work. And then my socializing is we walk back to our homes and then talk on the walk there and then part ways. But this stunt is so amazing. And I'm so interested in what's going to happen. I want to buy Nick Ray's book on socializing, on throwing parties. I don't have time for parties. I don't go to parties anymore, but I want to buy this book on throwing parties. I don't even need to throw parties. People message me now. But this stunt is so good that I'm thinking about picking up a copy of his book just because this stunt is so good. And I followed him on all of his social media channels. I just like makes him a very interesting person. And I love this. So now I'm going to indulge and I'm going to see what happened on this day one of him, where he didn't actually share pictures of them smiling. He just shared the picture of the girl's head turned away in 2 photos. So this is what he said. I picked her up at the airport and we have officially met in person now. This is my Tokyo blind date update. Waiting for someone at the airport is humbling. You are scanning hundreds of people to find one person that you've never met before. Each passing person is a no, not her, no, not her, no, until I see her come out. I pump my fist in the air and call her name. She runs over and we sort of half hug. Oh my gosh. Then we look at each other and square up and full smile. I think we are both thinking the same thing. Wow, you are real. At least I have this feeling deep in my stomach that yes, she is real. That is a relief. I knew she would be real, but you never know. What are people saying on the internet about us? She asks me. It is 90% hype and 10% worry that you're going to cut out my kidneys. She goes, I like those odds. He says, I send her on a side quest while I handle the train tickets to get us back to downtown Tokyo. We board the train and start talking. Our conversation comes easily. Our ramen tour starts in 2 hours. I booked us a ramen tour for 2 main reasons. Number 1, in case it was awkward between us, we would have someone else leading the conversation for a while. I guess that's a tour guide. And number 2, to help her awake until at least 9 p.m. through the jet lag. We meet the Japanese guide outside Shinjuku Station. He is a ramen expert and claims to eat over 300 bowls of ramen noodle per year. That's a ton. We eat and learn neat facts about tonkotsu broth and shoyu broth and everything in between. Finally, the guide asks, so how did you 2 meet? My date takes the bait. Oh, him? I literally just met him. We're here on a blind date. The guide believes he has misunderstood or misstated. But you just flew in. How did you meet? My date explains that we literally just met an hour or 2 ago, and she announces that this is the first time we've ever eaten a meal together. The guide is confused, but likes it, and he likes us. She and I share a glance and smile. The ramen is good, and I like her. And that is the last update. And the comments, there's so many comments on these posts. People are saying, this is Greg Eisenberg, who's a super popular name on Twitter X. He said, this should be a reality TV show. I'm fully invested in this blind date saga. Someone else goes, no idea how I got here, but I'm totally invested in this now. Another person said, I just canceled Prime Video and Netflix, all in. People are loving this. People are really paying attention. This has taken over a lot of people's minds. It's a fun distraction for a lot of people from their troubles too, just thinking about this. And he posts all these updates. And so he's gotten tons of top of mind awareness. It's relatively in his niche, which is socializing and meeting people. And I mean, it's so effective that I don't even need his book. And I'm thinking about getting his book. And I might get it because you know why? Because I'm like, this is such a fun person that even if I don't need his book, I might really enjoy it. Like it might make me feel the same about life and meeting people as How to Win Friends and Influence People does. I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People multiple times. That book makes me so excited about meeting other people. And I genuinely do love to meet other people. That book makes me so excited to do it. And this book might be the same, where he shares stories of magic happening between two people because he's an interesting person and a good writer. And I'm like, okay, I'm being exposed to his brand and I like this brand. And he has a book. If this book is like this brand, then I probably will like the book too. So I think it is so smart, this stunt. This is a brilliant stunt and I love it. And I'm so happy that I got to share it with you. This is episode 295. 5 more episodes until episode 300 of my daily, everyday growth hacking and growth marketing podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. This is going to be a fun one to edit. There were so many different takes of me reading different lines and actually tons of slip-ups, and you're not going to hear any of that. It's just going to be completely flowing and perfect up until the end, mostly, I hope. Thank you so much. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.